On day 16 of the Lindsay Clancy trial, and more crazy shit has happened today. This trial has me in such a chokehold. You would think that I was the lead investigator or at least a juror. Emily Thorndike, the TikToker who made the video saying that she worked at the same place that Lindsay was at before the murders happened. You know, the video that she made saying that there was a lot of misrepresentation of what McClain actually offered and the actual care that Lindsay was likely receiving while she was in that stay because it was a holiday. She wanted to clear things up about like staffing ratios and what therapists and doctors she was actually seeing or likely seeing. She did say she was not working there at the time that Lindsay was there, but she worked there for like 8 years and she wanted to set the record straight. And it turns out that indeed staffing was the same as what it was whenever she was there. She got on the stand today and they were trying to figure out whether or not she was going to be a credible witness. The judge ultimately decided that she wasn't, just because she wasn't working there when Lindsay was there, which does suck a little bit just because the staffing ratio has indeed not changed. All of the stuff was essentially the same as when she was there. However, there were some comments saying that she was a little bit unprofessional on the stand. I didn't see that. I only saw like little clips and it seemed okay, but it could have potentially harmed the defense's case. So maybe it's a good thing that she wasn't on the stand. Now, the big thing that happened today was that court was released early. They went on a sidebar or something like that. The judge came back and said that something happened that they were not expecting to happen. They hadn't planned for. So the jury was going to be released for the day and they would be back tomorrow. And he was like, I don't want you to hold against either side and you're not to speculate or anything like that. But at the same time, we're speculating more than we have ever speculated before. We're not the actual jury, so it's okay. However, I'm sure they are also speculating. Me, as I'm speculating now, I absolutely would be if I was an actual juror. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that are circulating. Of course, it's hard not to because of how like wild this case actually is. But then there's also some reasonable explanation. Reasonable explanations are potentially people think that maybe they filed for a mistrial due to the religious comment, because apparently that comment that the prosecutor made towards Patrick's mom yesterday, I believe it was, saying, are you an active member in the Catholic Church? They said yes. And she was like, you know that murder is a mortal sin. That is apparently grounds for a mistrial. I was not aware of that. But again, I'm not a lawyer and a lot of this is very confusing. But then people are also stating they don't think that he would be going for a mistrial because if you go for a mistrial, they could potentially end up exactly where they are again. And he doesn't want to have to put her through that again. Another logical reason could be that maybe there was just conflicts of scheduling with a witness that they needed. Witness couldn't be there, so they sent everybody home. Some of the conspiracy theories, though, is that Patrick was supposed to be one of the witnesses because he is on the witness list again, but he's missing or they can't find him. He fled or whatever the case was. But TMZ posted a picture of him and his wife in New York. And then this could go either way with conspiracy theory as well as logical, but people are speculating that there could potentially be new evidence, and that's why they were sent home. There are people who are saying, you know, I'm an attorney or my husband's an attorney, and they're saying a lot of times this happens when there is new evidence. So that could also be a reason. I have no fucking idea, but whenever I initially saw it, I was shook. And the way that the judge presented it made it seem like it was something a little bit more on the crazier side versus, oh, it's just a witness that couldn't get here in time. You know what I mean? Now, this is not about today's court session, but I came across a video earlier. I believe it's Millie V GOVT has posted a video about a potential like reenactment of the crime scene and something that she found that she believes could potentially bust the whole case wide open and prove that Lindsay is innocent, because there were 2 blood spatters that were underneath the leg of the nightstand, making it as though the crime scene was staged. She takes 2 Bratz dolls. She has completely recreated the room, the way that it's set up, the blood spatters on the floor, everything to a T. And she reenacts what she thinks potentially happened. And it has to be the most logical thing that I have seen about this whole fucking case. And I need everybody to go watch it because my mind was fucking blown. I'll try and tag her below. Something else that I found that was crazy. Another TikToker posted a screenshot of like the CCTV footage of Patrick in like the CVS or the restaurant, whichever one it was, where they got him while he was on his phone. And it's showing the cameras, okay? You can't convince me that Patrick wasn't watching the cameras in his house while picking up dinner. They show this and it looks exactly like what the outside on a camera would look like at nighttime. They also show this. I don't know, that looks really clear to me for it to be the CCTV footage. I don't know, but they've zoomed in to his phone, and you can't tell me that that's not what these are. So then there's this that says he probably used the camera speaker to be the voice in her head, that demanding man voice. There was another comment on here somewhere, I don't remember where it was, but it was saying that what if it was that situation, like him talking over the speakers or whatever, and the wife was committing the other crimes, and she could see in because of where her head was by the window, and that's why she thought that she was watching herself do it. I know that some of this sounds crazy and sounds very like conspiracy theorist type shit, but at the same time, we also have to like remember that shit like this happens in real fucking life. People are saying, well, this isn't a true crime documentary. This isn't a Netflix movie or whatever. You realize that the true crime documentaries are made from true crime that actually fucking happened like this. This is probably going to be a true crime documentary in its fucking self. People aren't crazy for coming up with these theories because they're basing it off of things that they have seen previously from the true crime documentary. I don't know. My head is really spinning, and honestly, I've watched so much of it today that I'm telling myself that I need to take a break from all the theories, from all the listening to the legal stuff and all of the videos. I gotta take a break. Tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think that this could potentially be what he was doing? And also, what is your take on the whole releasing court early? Do you think that it's something as simple as a witness conflict, or was it new evidence?